So we've drawn Real Madrid yet again. I think this is the fifth time in the last 9 years. They're basically our Shakhtar Donetsk at the knockout stages. City versus Real Madrid. I'm just filming this on my phone, by the way, because my son's upstairs sleeping and I wanted to get this video done quickly. Bring it on, hey. What about all these bribes that apparently we do, to get all these easy draws? Yet again, City have got Real Madrid, and if we get through, we've got Arsenal or Bayern Munich. That's an absolutely ridiculous draw, but that is Manchester City for you. The good thing, of course, though, is that the Etihad will be the conclusion of that quarter-final leg. We've got Real Madrid on the 9th, I think, of April at the Bernabeu, and then bring them back a week later to the Etihad Stadium, where hopefully we can finish the job. It's all very, very exciting, isn't it? And I'm actually weirdly confident. We've done it before. The most sensational display of football I've ever seen by Manchester City Football Club was against Real Madrid, of course, last year. 4-0, an absolutely battering, a domination, if I'm being honest. Look, things are different right now, and I know Real Madrid are probably better. Maybe we're arguably not quite as good. It's debatable that. But I can't help but feel confident. I don't know. There's something about Real Madrid and Manchester City. I just sort of trust us. We've been good against them for some time now, and this isn't the first time we faced them. It's definitely not the first time we're going to beat them. If we do, we've obviously had some great performances before. Think away at the Bernabeu with Jesus and grabbing a goal and De Bruyne with the penalty and all that kind of stuff. And of course, last year, the absolute annihilation of them. As good as they are, I have to feel reasonably confident. Now, obviously, Real Madrid, they are royalty. They are the kings of this competition. They have that aura in this competition that it precedes them for a reason. And when you look at their route, to the last 16 and then through it to the quarterfinals, look, they were very impressive. Very, very impressive. In their group, the only team other than Manchester City to win all 6 games. They had a group of Napoli, Braga, and Union Berlin. So not the hardest group. Napoli aren't quite the same. Obviously, they've got quality players like Victor Osimhen, and they won the league recently. But still, Napoli, I wouldn't say. Real Madrid should be beating them. They should do, and they did. Braga, Union Berlin, look, they were always going to win those games. Union Berlin, of course, did get a single victory. But 6 wins out of 6 with 16 goals, it's a good return for a very good side. And then the other thing I would say is they did sort of just about scrape through against RB Leipzig. And of course, we had a good record against RB Leipzig. And we beat them, I think it was 3-1 both times. Was it 3-1 both times? I know it's 3-1 away, I can't remember at home. But either way, they only got through 2-1 in aggregate. Leipzig gave them a battering at the Bernabeu, if I'm being honest. I mean, looking at the stats now, Leipzig had 20 shots to their 11 at the Bernabeu. And this was a Real Madrid side with the likes of Rudiger, Cruz, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Valverde, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. It's a strong side. They might be missing one or two. I think Modric and Rodrigo came off the bench. But largely, this was Real Madrid. This wasn't some second string team. Dani Carvajal was playing. Mendy. It was a very good side, and they just about got through. They gave them real problems, Leipzig, which gave us problems too. But I say we handled them better than Real Madrid did. Now, of course, this is the air of revenge that we can all smell. We can sense it. Real Madrid want to get us back for knocking them out last year. Not just knocking them out, humiliating them, if we're being honest. They don't get beat that often, that convincingly, which makes it all more exciting for me. But we can't deny that this is going to be an absolute juggernaut of a clash, and they'll be very motivated by it. I do think and hope by the time we get around to these fixtures in April, the City machine will be chugging along even more smoothly than it is. And I've sensed already negativity online from City fans and whatever. I think a lot of that comes from the the Liverpool game. I don't feel that Madrid is necessarily harder than Liverpool at Anfield. I don't think we can use Anfield as our barometer of our current success, because I feel Anfield is just we're worse at Anfield than we are at Bernabeu by some way. It's the hardest game, and I don't. I've seen negativity based on that recency bias there, but away from that, we're beaten in 21 games. We won 18 out of the 21. I think largely we just go with the same approach, the control, the possession. Hopefully De Bruyne will be available then, Maybe Jack Grealish will be back as well. We'll have that control. I just trust us in this side. Trust us in this competition. I just do. And maybe you can call me naive there or whatever, but I just do. I think there's something about this Manchester City side that's set up for this competition right now. I think we've got a little bit too much quality. Hopefully Kev will be back almost certainly. By the way, I've not talked about KDB's injury, but I think it's an international break injury where he's doing the whole, I'm 32 years old, I probably should just rest up during international break unless it's a big one. He's just doing that, I guarantee you. He'll be back. He'll be back for Arsenal. I absolutely promise you. He'll rest out the Newcastle game, so it is a minor injury. But I think they're just sort of resting him and being sensible. You can probably play both, by the way. Probably could play Newcastle. Probably could get the international break. But they're just being sensible. I don't think he's out. I think they're just being cautious, which is what you'd always advise and so on. So I'm not worried about that. Grealish hopefully back by then as well. But I don't know. I feel like Bernabeu, Man City, I don't know. We just do it. You know, it's one of those things where I've seen negativity online. It's like, have you not been paying attention to City over the past few years? We're not always like this smooth sailing machine. I think people have created a picture of City over the last couple of years that we're absolutely flying and batting everyone by now. We're not. We're absolutely not. Memory paints a prettier picture than the one that we actually saw. It always does. Nostalgia kicks in. I just trust this team. Madrid, of course, are playing well this year. They are. I can't deny it, at the top of the Liga. You know, the Liga isn't that strong, I would argue. You could argue that differently, I guess, but they've only lost one game, you know. I think they've lost a couple of games all season. I think it's Atletico away. They won 21 out of 28. They're looking good. It's a good season for them. I don't think they've been incredible by any stretch. And the biggest, I mean, he says it all when the biggest rivals are Girona, with all due respect to Barcelona and Atletico. But I think Madrid have been the best team in a pretty meh kind of title race. Look, I mean, when you've got Girona next up, 62 points, 7 points clear of Real Madrid, I think you can sort of say with confidence there that it isn't a classic La Liga side. Still, they're a very good side. I mean, I look at the last match, for example. They beat Celta Vigo 4-0, I think it was, at the weekend. Vinicius, 2 on goals, by the way. Vinicius Jr., this is how they lined up. They had Lunin in goal, Vasquez, Rudiger, Nacho, Mendy, Valverde, Modric, Camavinga, Brahim Diaz, and then they had Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. Brahim, by the way, having a bit of a hot streak right now, which I'm very happy for him. And they still have Tchouameni, Dani Ceballos, Ceballos, Carvajal, Tony Cruz, and so on. They've got, obviously, a really quality squad, but I just trust this City side. I think we're made for this competition now. I think all our anxiety and nerves just goes away in the Champions League, and I think we'll be better than we are right this second. I think by then Guardiola will know. He'll know our team. He will know our team, and I think the negativity is over the top. I think it absolutely is. I think City have been much better than people pretend, and I think we're getting results and we're in an incredible position in all competitions. And I don't see why people would be so down on this side just because we play poor at Anfield. We played poor at Anfield when we had Aguero, David Silva, Vinny Company, Yaya Toure. We played poor when we had some of our biggest ever legends. We can't read too much into a final farewell Klopp Manchester City Anfield game and get too down on it. I don't know. I just don't think we can. I think we're overthinking it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm confident. I think we'll beat them. I think it'll be closer than last year, but I think we'll beat them. I've just got a good feeling about it. I think Kev will be up for it. I think Phil will be up for it. I think Bernardo will be up for it. I think Jack will be up for it. I think Ruben Diaz. I think we'll see the best of Ake and Akanji, and Ortega might be on number 1 by then. He'll be up for it. I don't know. I've got a feeling we're in a good space. If you disagree, of course, let me know in the comments. And if you get through, by the way, Arsenal, Bayern. I'm looking at the Champions League draw now. 1 second. I mean, those games. There's some big games there, isn't there? Arsenal, Bayern. I don't know how that's going to go. Atletico, Dortmund. That's Atletico, isn't it? Arsenal, PSG, Barcelona. PSG are going to win that, I reckon. Arsenal, Bayern. I think Arsenal will go through, to be honest. But then we'll see after that, won't we? But I'm going to say City will beat Madrid. It'll be close, but I trust them. Get a good result away at Bernabeu, which I think will be a draw. I'm fine with that. Then beat them at the Etihad. And the Etihad on the Champions League night. And I've seen negativity, by the way, by a lot of people who probably haven't been to the Etihad. And that's fine, overseas fans. But when you're there on a Champions League night, the Etihad's rocking. These players, they feel it now. And Rodri and De Bruyne and Phil and Bernardo, they're going to be absolutely on it. I know they are, and I trust them. I think we've got a bit too much quality, but still, maybe I'm wrong. Guys, let me know in the comments what you make of it. I'm excited, though, because this is what it's all about. Trust this Manchester City side. They've not let us down, for an awful long time. We are current world champions, and people are upset because we play poor against Liverpool for one half. Perspective, be calm, up the Blues. Bye-bye.